Hey everyone, this is your boy Medivia Chief again with another great video in my opinion regarding 10 tips for Medivia Online. So this is my character Mayfeld in Legacy World, level 376. This is my setup. If anyone, like to understand how I play the game, I normally have my map on the top left. The map, by the way, it's amazing. I'll probably do a deep dive video on the client settings and how to set up all those panels. But basically, over here on the left, I have my skills, some resistances, because as a knight, as a blocker, it's always good to see how your current equipment is affecting your resistances and spells from druids and such. How is that playing a part on the resistances you have, and so you can understand a bit better how tanky you're going to be when facing tough mobs. Over here I have my VIP list, and I normally keep all my premium cash shop items in parcels, schools for Serpentine Tomb, as well as some letters, as well as temple scrolls, keychain and such, skinny bags, fishing, mining, and so on. Over here on the right we have the health bar on the top right, then the gold pouch. It's a bit big for the gold pouch. There's no need to be that big. I'm not that rich. It just never gets farther from here, honestly, because I think the most I ever had was like 5kk or something. And then I normally invest on equips or buy a lot of supplies on the market so I can save some cash later down the road. Here I have my ring bags with my melee rings as well as my mana rings in life and Hymn of Reeling. And some UAges. Then here's my main backpack where I normally carry my loot and some food items. And here I have all my equips for quick changers. For example, when I need to please swap between some items, I normally do through here because it's very easy to access some mighty rings, some SSAs, as well as some weapons and equipment. Here I have my battle list because I like to quickly, have access to. I normally hide the players, the NPCs and such, so I only keep the mobs. Alright, so let's start the video. And do share down here below if you didn't know of some of those tips. Of course, the most experienced players probably did know some of them already, but do share here the ones that have helped you the most. So the first tip is pretty, I think it was recently changed on how it works, but it's been in the game for a while. It's about the item quantity display. Now this is very useful, especially when you're hunting. So for example, if you want to know exactly how many of a specific item you have, of course that's not including charges, you can just left and right click on your mouse. At least that's my setup here at the moment, and it's going to show you the total here on the bottom left. So that means I have currently 378 UH rooms. Now why this is really good, let me give you another example here. 175, and this could be in many other backpacks, and it's always going to show you how many you're currently carrying. And this is very important because sometimes it shows that you have, I don't know, 400 UHs and you can only find 20 because your BP became a maze if you're not well organized. But at least with this you can know exactly how many you're carrying, and then you could do some analysis on where the items are for you. As well, as very important when you're team hunting, so you can know your supplies to see how much you waste. So you basically take a look on how many you had before, how many you had after, and then this can give you an idea on how many supplies you've used, so you can calculate your profit and split with your peers. So yeah, just left and right click, and then it's going to show you the total right here. The second tip is also pretty cool in my view. I'm gonna even keep moving, hopping towns, so whoever doesn't know the game can see the many different towns that we have and environments and such. So the second tip is always carry an Amulet of Loss. Now why is that? So normally the in-game, let's say, or at least Bastion slot gear that you get from factions, for example, this one you get from the Imperial factions, it's called the Blast Amulet, and this one it's called the Amulet of the Elements. So this one here gives 6% resistance of for all the resistances, and this one here gives 20 for elements, which is fire, ice, poison, and energy, but it doesn't count, for example, for physical, holy, death, and so on. However, as you can see, this one has a golden border around. Is because this item has been enchanted with a let me see if I can find it right here. Good that I don't know where it is. That means I don't use it that much because thankfully I don't die too often. But here's the Blasted Sigil. So you can buy this for 75 Medivia coins, and you can enchant an amulet. Now, not every item, not every amulet can be enchanted, but basically that means that now this, as well as providing you the attributes and properties of that specific item, it also prevents item loss upon death. So that's pretty amazing. So here, as you can see, my Blast Amulet as well as my Amulet of Elements have this, mostly because I'm a knight. So, I mean, it could be quite frequent that you're blocking high-level monsters and you might die. It might be in a difficult-to-reach area. And then, as long as this is enchanted, you're not going to lose any item on your backpack. However, if you're AFK training, if you are for sure, if you know that you're going to die because you're facing a very difficult mob that by accident you took the wrong turn and then you're trapped, or you don't have enough more supplies and you started your hunt but you didn't bring your BP of runes, but then you're kind of way further down and you know you're not going to be returning, you should always carry an Amulet of Loss so you don't lose that sigil protection. Because if you die with this means that the amulet will now be just a normal amulet. It's going to be blank, so it's going to lose your 75 Medivia coins sigil, but you're not going to lose anything apart from that 75 Medivia coins. But if you swap to an Amulet of Laws, which costs like 50, maybe some people even sell in the market for 30k, that means that you will not lose that 75 Medivia coins. Now here in Legacy, the Medivia coin, 100 Medivia coins is around 400k, so that means the 75 is around 300k. So comparing 50k loss for an Amulet of Loss, or even 30 if you can get it cheaper, versus 300k, that means that you're already profiting. Let's say, of course, it's not a profit because you're losing anyway, but you avoid to spend 300k upon death. So that's just a pro tip as well. You know, it's not the same as Amulet of Loss, but make sure to always carry a Stone Skin Amulet. Maybe you took a wrong turn and there's a mob there that hits hard on physical. If you have a Stone Skin Amulet, 100% guarantees that at least you can Anima Amplio haste. Even if the mob gives you 3 to 4 hits, the Stone Skin Amulet should last and you won't die. The problem with using Stone Skin Amulet is if you die eventually, you're going to lose all your gear. And if it's in a tough place to access, then that means you're kind of fucked. So you have to pay a high level to get your items. And I had to do this once in Serenity. I died level 25 on the Arc Fortress. I had some Medivia coins on my bag. Now on Serenity, because it is a non-PvP server, they lock your corpse so no one can access apart from you. That means that even if you get killed by a mob, you will not lose your items by another player. So Amulet of Loss or a Sigil on that server might be a bit, it might not have the same purpose or usefulness as a server like Legacy or any other PvP server, honestly. But still, sometimes you die on the Annihilator quest and then there's no one to pick your gear, because Annihilator used to be 1 access per server save, but now they changed anyway. So yeah, just bear in mind, always keep Amulet of Loss that can reduce your losses by a good few gold coins. This other tip, it's actually pretty cool. I didn't get to know this before playing Serenity, honestly. Low rate servers, you rarely drop many recipes anyway, so I didn't have many, and the ones I had, I used them myself, so I didn't have that oversupply of recipes. But in high rate servers, this is quite useful. So there's this NPC in Abikir called Omar. He buys your recipes. Now, some of them are quite, there's an oversaturation of them in the market, so no players buy them. They can drop themselves, or so it's good that at least you can sell for some good amount of money some recipes. Now, of course, you need to do a small quest in order to allow this NPC to sell to you. You required some mushrooms, some shrimp, 10 frozen hands, 8 shrimps actually, and 1 northern pike. Now, the hardest to get here would be the northern pike. However, there is an NPC in Thoris that you can change 10 white wools from sheep, which is a 10% chance, for 1 northern pike. So you can also do in that way. So it's a pretty cool NPC. You can sell your recipes, make some cash if they're not selling on the market. So the next one is in my view, is one of the most important tips I'm ever going to be able to give it to you is, and something I didn't follow myself. Where should we go next? Let's go to Luanda. So this is a jungle town, so you guys can see a little bit. Um, Pretty cool environments. Yeah, so the next step is invest in supplies and don't invest on attributes that early in the game. So basically, prioritize investing in supplies over attributing. Now, you can say, "Oh, why are you recommending this? Since I can see your gear and it's basically fully attribute." Yeah, but that's after 2.5 years of playing Legacy, making my own rooms, profiting in most hunts because I'm a cheap ass when it comes to HMM hunting. As some of you guys know, I don't use a lot of axles, but now I'm having a change of my mindset because since my hunts, they are a bit more profitable because I'm hunting higher level mobs. I'm using more supplies and I'm actually profiting anyway. So I kind of like this trade-off. However, when you're low level, it's like, why are you going to spend, for example, 2 KK or 2 mil gold coins in a full attributed magic sword, Sword of Valor, when you can buy, I don't know, let's do a quick calculation here. So how many UHs that would be? So that would be around 740 BPs of UHs, which multiplied by 20 for each BP would be about 14,000, almost 15,000 ultimate healing rooms. So in my view, this is incredible because you can get a normal magic sword. It's not about the item itself; it's about getting a fully attributed item. Now there are some exceptions to this tip. For example, if you're a mage and you're going to be playing for a long time and you're going to be doing a lot of mana sets, you can always invest in some presence of mind attributes. So you can keep, making more runes, spending more mana, so you can boost your magic level. However, for any other class, I don't think any attribute might be worth oversupplies. Well, this next step is, if you decided eventually, or you're high level enough and you think, yeah, I'm not happy investing on supplies, I'm going to invest on some fully attributed items because they're going to help me. Attributed items. They're going to help me a lot. So yeah, go on and do that. There's no rules against that, honestly. However, what is important to know here is give preference to buying fully attributed items from the get-go. They're normally way cheaper than what they cost to make. For example, you can buy a clean angelic plate mail, and the overall attribute cost in average would be around 12 KK. Or you can buy a fully attributed one for 9KK. Now, of course, you can be lucky and do 6KK, 5KK. However, money is very hard to go by in servers like low-rate servers like Legacy, Destiny, and so on. So it would be smarter to invest your money in fully attributed items. Now, the meta is always changing. New patches, new gear. So, for example, this Mace of Primordial Fire, which I just used here, used to be end game for about maybe 4 years ago. However, with new patches, now it's not end game anymore. It's like a mid-level sort of weapon after you finish the Arcane faction. This weapon costs about maybe 7 mil, if I'm not mistaken, to fully attribute. Let me just check the wiki here. It's actually about 8.6 KK average to attribute. Now you can go 12 KK, you can go 4 KK. Now that all depends on your luck. And this weapon you cannot drop with some attributes. It comes clean from the NPC rewards after you complete the faction. However, you can buy this nowadays in Legacy, which is a very steady economy server, for about 5 KK average, maybe 4.5, 5.5. But it's an average of 5 KK. So why would you spend 8.6 KK in average from your pockets if you could buy a fully attributed item that someone already went through attributing? But I understand, like, some people enjoy the roulette, some people enjoy the thrill of attributing. It's actually quite addicting, and I think they've done this on purpose, honestly, because it's fun when you are spending 1 mil and you get 2 attributes, for example, but that's quite rare. Majority of people will lose money because the system is sort of designed to sink money. So yeah, that's my tip. If you decided to buy attributed items, buy a full one, because this will save you a lot of money instead of you having to attribute it full. Or follow my next tip, which is also a good one. So I made this mistake already, and I'm here to tell you to avoid doing that. So basically, I had a Sword of Valor when I was level 100, and I bought a lot of small Painite crystals to try to upgrade it. Now, I was able to get an attribute, and it was quite cheap, but I was very lucky, right? Basically, the more attributes you have, let me give you an example here. Let's see something like my helmets. I think it's missing 2 attributes. So the oh, actually just 1. Let's see if I have something here that's missing 2 attributes. I do not. But wow, what a bad issue I have. At least I don't have it in here, but I have it in my house for sure. But yeah, basically, this step is if you decided not to buy a fully attributed item because you don't have money, if you decided to not invest in supplies, at least choose and buy an item with 1 attribute or 2 attributes even already before you start rolling the dice for attributing. Now, why this is because how the attributing system works. Your chances increases the least amount of attributes you have left in the item. So that would be my tip. Buy a 2 out of 5 or 1 out of 5 even, or a 2 out of 6 item, because those normally don't follow the average attribute cost. For example, I'm selling at this time, let's see my trade message here. I'm selling a Mastermind Shield with Strength. Now, the average cost of this attribute in the Mastermind Shield would be about maybe 2 mil, but I'm selling this Mastermind Shield with Strength for 70k, which is 20k more than the NPC price. And that's how normally it goes. People sell cheap items with 1 attributes just because they know it's not too valuable. So buy an item with 1 to 2 attributes before you decide to roll the dice. Never attribute an item from clean status unless, of course, it's like a reward from a faction or it's a reward from a quest that it's impossible to drop from a mob. But if it drops from a mob, try to get and start with an attributed item, just because there is a chance the item will drop as an attributed item. This one is a short and quite concise tip. So from the island of Mauren, which is accessible through Ashen. By the way, to use the boats, you need to be premium account. However, to access Mauren, you do not need to be premium account. So if you have a free account, you can access Mauren. So what's special about this island, first of all, is protection zone. The whole of this island is protection zone, as well as you can access every single depot from the game through here. So for example, here, Lucindale, I can access my DP from Hoff, I can access my DP from Ashen, I can even access my DP from home right here. So basically you can access your DP from every single city from here. You can buy parcels, you can buy letters, you can buy basically those 2 items. So you can send things around, and you can for example, if you have a trading character, you can just stay here in this island and trade around, use several different DPs, because DPs have limits of items. So by using multiple DPs, you don't even need a house. You can just use multiple DPs and stay stationary if you have a trading character in this island. So that's a pretty cool tip. Sometimes people say when you're selling items, when you're trading, or when a friend is sending you a parcel, they might send to the wrong city. They might, So you can always check all your depots here before saying, hey, come on, man, where's my item? Or, just give me my money back. Maybe the guy sent you, but he forgot to send to the right city anyway. So yeah, that's the tip for Mauren. Okay, so this next tip is pretty good. Let me see if I can make this work. So basically there's a setting. So I just pinged 2 of my friends here in the game. Let's see. So as you can see, normally, and I just learned this recently, honestly, because it's not a very straightforward setting on a client. So normally your messages would pop up on the screen, and it would pop up on the console when someone pings you, PMs you. However, if you enable a setting on the console that is show cast messages in console, just happened now here. Yeah, so you can untoggle this. Sorry, not this one. Show private messages in console. So you can untoggle this, save, and basically every time someone pings you, it will show up in a separate window already open for you to reply. You're training AFK, and a lot of people are doing spells and stuff around you, and you lose a message all the way up there because this keeps going down. Every message, it's around you. So you might lose a message, but if it opens a separate window, that means you're safe. Your message will be stored until you log off. So just untoggle that option. Every private message that you receive will open a separate tab on your console. Okay, so this is a pretty cool tip. It used to be that a few patches back that you would get you were typing messages around and you would accidentally press the spacebar and you would attack and kill a mob, or you would kill a training dummy, and so on. They changed this recently, so there is this setting here on the hotkeys, which is this. It's not very straightforward, but basically it's this extra checkbox here that you can configure this shortcut, this hotkey, to not be enabled, or actually enable only during walking mode. So for example, if I'm typing here hello and then I hit space, as you can see, the rats are not being attacked. If I'm not typing anything and I'm just walking around and I hit space, then the mobs will be attacked. And that's for the spacebar, of course, but you can do this for the logout button. You can do this for, the logout hotkey, in any of those gameplay hotkeys here, which people were getting annoyed by. They were typing to a friend on a private message and he was killing all the dummies because they had a different weapon. Some people were even attacking PK players because they attacked the training dummy. They had a two-handed staff, which does a 3x3 attack radius, and they were getting PK'd. And sometimes even if the guy wasn't paying much attention, the guy that was getting hit, he was going to die. And the guy that was typing, he was going to die because he accidentally targeted a dummy. The person was hitting a dummy in close range. He was in the radius 3x3 of the AoE two-handed magic arrows. Small runes. Eggs, as I think is what people normally refer to them. And so this setting, this hotkey now avoids this to happen. This next tip is pretty cool. It has saved me sometimes. Is to enable the connection latency. So if you enable this, let me just show how it looks. So here on the top of the clients, you can see the latency. Now, if there are some network spikes on your area, that means that you can die if it goes too hard. So normally this changes color. If it's a medium ping, it goes yellow. If it's too bad, just go red. So if you're noticing that you're stuttering or you're lagging, always check your latency meter. If it looks bad, then stop hunting immediately, changing to an amulet of loss just in case. However, Medivia has a protection for if you log off out of nowhere because of loss of power or loss of internet. So Medivia has a anti death protection system for connection latencies. However, if you are being attacked by a player, for example, if you're team hunting and you have a mage that does a 3x3 spells, as I was showing you on the previous tip, and you got attacked, that means he's schooled. Even though he's on your party, he's still schooled, and that means that the protection system for anti-death will not kick in, because if you are being attacked by another player, no matter if it's on your party or not, the system will not kick in and you're going to die and lose your gear. So just be mindful. This only normally works when you're not hunting with other people or you don't have any PK or any attacks from other players, even though they're in your party. And that's to avoid, of course, people that are being hunted by a PK team and they just, alt F4 and they think they're not going to lose anything, but they actually will, because, the system does not work when you're being other players being on your party or not. Okay, so on for our last tip, and do let me know if you guys want other videos like this. Please share your tips as well so I can make some videos like those in future videos. The community can also help with tips, because I don't know everything. Those are tips that has helped me previously, and I've learned with the game it's not very straightforward. Of course, there are many more tips that I have, but I just try to summarize to 10. So the last tip is to abuse of map markings. Map markings is you right click on your map, you create a mark, and you can choose any of those icons, type anything, and then just hit OK. So it saves forever. When you close your client, it's going to be here the next time. Now, why this is important, let me show you. If you Ctrl-Shift-M, this shows your actual maps. Let me see a recent hunt that I have been doing. I think I've been going on, let's see, any hunts that I've targeted here. For example, this one. This is Priestess of Light, I believe in Thoris. Is it? No, this is Arak. But I think we have some in Thoris as well. Or for example, even this is better. This is a rotation. So with numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, this is Lightbringer Camp, I believe, in Ashen. Yeah, I believe that's right. So Imperial faction. Yeah, not Lightbringer Camp. That's where I done my Imperial soldier tasks. So here I was walking through the door and I had my map markings on exactly the order that my rotation was gonna go. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I went downstairs, and then here I cleared because I knew from the top of my head how to go. So basically I had those markings. It helped me a lot. Now, not every place you can mark like this. You can mark, for example, if it's a single level hunt zone, you can mark how many mobs there are. I think this marking was not even done by me. I got some markings from a great guy called Lemon from the community. He does some markings and I got his. So thanks, Lemon, for that. But basically, let me see if I can have any other ones here. No, I think that's a pretty good idea on how can you use an abuse mark. So it can help on your hunt. It can help on where to trade. I normally mark my house as well. For example, my house is in Garrogat, and I normally just map click from the boats. Or is Garrogat again? Jesus, here. So this is the boats. I just click here to my house. This key, normally that's how I tag my house. And then every time I just click the key, that means I'm straight out at my home. Straight away without having to walk. And the map walking on Medivia is pretty cool. You just drag the map, click, and then you go straight away. So it's a pretty cool tip to enjoy in the booze, the map markets. That's it, guys. Thanks for making it this far. I do appreciate it, and do let me know, as I said earlier back, if you have any additional tips that you can share with the community. I'll try to make a video on them. The next 10 tips will probably be from the comment section on this video, so do let me know if you have them, and I do appreciate it. So yeah, peace. Have a great day.